Okay. All right, we're up. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Monday. So, another Monday, some more painting. Not that painting does not happen. And I'll give you a little sneak peek of what's to come. There may or may not also be some giveaways next month related to that. So, if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Something else before we get going is our giveaway for this month. Just a little holiday giveaway for those of you who are interested. This is linked down in the description, and I'll try to pin a comment once I'm done. Basically, there's a short. Just go leave a like, leave a comment on it. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and you'll be entered to win this. This runs till December 31st, and then I'll pick a winner. I'll reach out and we'll get it sorted out, and I'll get it sent to US only for this one, as it's the first giveaway that I'm doing. I don't want to overcomplicate that side of things, so all we're doing for that. As far as the sneak peek that I just gave you, it's all done and recorded. Obviously, I just got to edit it all together, and then that video will just go out when it's done. I'm not gonna schedule it on a Friday or anything. I do need to record some stuff for that purpose, but with that guy, I do think I just want to have it come out when it's ready. So keep an eye out for that if you're interested. Today, though, we are painting up some more Star Wars Shatterpoint models, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm not like overly looking forward to doing it, but I like seeing them completed. I just am not. I'm struggling with a little bit of inspiration, I guess, for it. Now, we painted this last Monday. I did obviously end up going back and adding some OSL, which I decided to stick to my guns, I guess, actually, to get the other model that pertains to. And I'm gonna do OSL on everything that warrants it, so even if it's just subtle because I'm hesitant to overdo it, just adding a little bit on Ventress. Obviously I went a little bit more extreme on Anakin, but that's because it's so close. I wanted that brightness. I do wish I had used a slightly different color, perhaps, just because it seems a bit aggressive considering the color of the blade. But that's easy enough. I could change that, but I'm okay with it for now. And then this, which was kind of a realm full of experiments. I actually did some purple kind of undershading and then did red from above, and I really liked the way that it came out. I didn't really know how I was going to go about painting Talzin just because of the wacky kind of shape and all the little flails and stuff, but I'm really happy with how she came out. Her eyes don't look super crazy. And then obviously that little bit of green hue, which I think actually really complements the red. So that is what we're going to be doing today. I don't really know how that's going to translate to replicating on these two people. But we're going to do it anyways. I don't know how much we're going to get done today, because I've got quite a bit of things that I kind of need to try to get done today. If nothing else, I think we're going to aim to try to at least get bodies done, and we'll see where we get. So also the airbrush paints that I'm using are just like cheap crap. I think I bought like a big giant bundle of paints off Amazon just to have color variety that I could thin down if I have to. These have been okay just straight out of the bottle, so I haven't actually been doing that, but and then we're using a Iwata Eclipse, which again, I don't do a whole lot of airbrushing, so it's all part of the process. And Towson was also the first. I mean, you could say like a black prime and a zenithal is still undershading because it is. Which I'm mixing up this paint, sorry. But as far as using like a color specifically to do undershading, Towson was the first time I did that, and it's real subtle, but it just adds a tiny little bit of like a hue almost to some of the shading. You can see it a lot more on the back of the head, but I was pretty pleased with that, so we're gonna duplicate it onto the other ones. And we'll see how we get on here. Also, again, given that this is a different microphone, I don't know how much of this microphone is going to pick up, so I apologize if it is kind of obnoxious. Let me set aside the handy dandy feet palette. Get this guy over here where I could use it. Okay. All right. And I would say this is one of those models that I couldn't separate, but looking at the instructions, I'm pretty sure this is all one piece, which just makes no sense. Like, why would they not have just split it right there, that little bend to the foot, just like they did with some of the other ones? Because it almost makes painting intentionally more difficult. Mainly focusing on a down or like a bottom up angle, but given that this is on the base, it's a little tricky. Now, not overly concerned, because I can cover up most of that with a red afterwards. And I'm almost tempted to go a little heavier on this one than I did the other one. But I think we're just gonna leave it subtle. We're not gonna go too extreme, considering this is not something that I have a whole ton of experience with. This guy. I'm basically doing an upside down zenithal of sorts over my regular white zenithal, and then we're going to do another red zenithal over top of this to get to our final result. Kind of looking for some of the dark spots that I might want a little more of that purple in. Guess it would have helped to do all these back to back, so I had a little bit more of a one-to-one reference, but again, we're just doing a relatively subtle coloring of the bottom of that. Again, apologies if that is a little unpleasant. Except this red, which this red was giving me a little bit of issue, so I'm going to mix this up a little bit more. Something else to note, you could obviously just speed paint these guys, but I have an airbrush, I might as well. One downside of doing this though is that I can't use any speed paints. I mean, you can depending, but like all the skin tone. So I just did black speed paint straight over the red for these black portions just because it didn't really matter. But like for the face, I actually mixed up a color for that and then used a regular black over top of it just because doing it over like a red it just wouldn't work. All right, we'll see if this is gonna cooperate, which it's already not really, but which again, this is just some shitty bundled paint from Amazon, but I think we'll be all right. I can pick this napkin up. Ooh. And now I'm just gonna go in and essentially zenithal straight top or straight down from on top of this thing. Until we get to the red we're looking for. I am kind of intentionally doing this thin and then kind of more heavily focusing on some of the spots that I want to be a brighter red. And then I'm going to have to go back over some of this with obviously the spots down in that smoke. I'm just gonna hit a little more normally. I'd imagine that mask is gonna be black. Because these ones actually have some like skin on the arms, and I think from what I've seen or looking at the reference images, some like on the legs. It gets a little weird. Try to add a little more in there. So right now that red looks rather obnoxious on camera, I'm not gonna lie. Which It's close. They do look a little bit different in hue, almost, but that's all right. But honestly, that is about the gist of my reshading. So a little bit of purple hue and real red from above. And we get a little bit more depth on some things. So now we just gotta attempt to do the same thing on this piece of crap. Mess that up a little bit. Which, to be fair, considering kind of what these are, I don't honestly really care if they vary a little bit, because they are a little bit more like cartoony almost. A little bit of spot there. Tiny little bit more. Boot. Let's see. Although I guess this isn't a super fair comparison because one of these has been clear coated. That's okay. That's, yeah, I can live with that. Now, I don't remember. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I don't remember what base one of these belongs to, but I guess it was something like that. Yeah, there'll be a good amount of green mixed in on that, so that'll work. I think the bow feels like it wants to be gold, but I need to look up a reference of what these bows are. I don't know if I'm just thinking of Omega's bow, but it's really kind of hard to tell where there's skin on these fellas. Definitely on the arms. Obviously on the lower half of the face. Let's go ahead and block in the skin, I guess. Because looking at these, I don't think there's anywhere that is really going to need black other than the mask. Oh, what the hell is going on this one's head? Reference material is what we need. 1 second. Pull up a picture here. NIGHTSISTERS. Okay, well, none of these have this weird head mask helmet looking thing. Unless there's just something weird with the sculpt, or the weird fight that these people had with the super glue to put these together. But none of these look like... Granted, I feel like... Well, you know what? what do they look like on the box art? No, they're not black masks. Very strange. Still not really a good picture even of their models here. Yeah, it almost looks like honestly, I don't know what it looks like. There's these weird lines like on the face. I don't know if those are supposed to just be like for black tattoos, because they do emboss some of this stuff on these, but then like this has just got a mask. I feel like the mask wants to be black, but they're just kind of all white. We're just gonna base coat everything in the skin tone that we're gonna mix, which I think I did with a gray and a white. Although I don't think I used this. I think I mixed up a light gray with this uniform gray. But yeah, we're just gonna base coat all the skin, and we'll go from there. Don't judge my wet palette mixing, because I don't know what I'm doing in that realm. That'll do, pig. Granted, before I do anything, rinse this airbrush out. Apologies. Try to keep this airbrush as working as I can for as long as I can. I can live with that. Okay. I'm convinced at this point I'm not ever gonna figure out what is the appropriate consistency to thin anything to. I feel like whenever I get to a point of thinking, yeah, that's good, it's not. Dang hair. Trying not to hit the edges of that hood if I can help it. Which also, I have tried doing some test things of zooming in a little bit more, but I just move around too much currently to be doing all that. So apologies if you can't see as well as you might want. Oh, I can't see as well as I want sometimes. Sorry, I'm trying to like really decipher what I'm looking at in here, especially trying to pick out the skin tone. Granted, like these small of details, honestly, as long as I get something on them, so they kind of represent as the part of the hand that I want them to, that is good with me. A little bit more there than I would want. It looks like. I mean, I could probably lose sleep over trying to decipher what's skin and what isn't in these arm wraps, but I just don't know if it's really worth the headache, to be honest. Because the hand almost looks like it's wrapped over itself. Maybe I'll try to go back in and pick out some of that, but we're just gonna wait on that. No, this isn't gonna go well.